Well, by the green grass on the ground, you know I'm back in Harrodsburg, Kentucky, home of Sewell Motor Coach, and I've been asked to return here because apparently they could use some help. I'm a little out of uniform because I just flew in, and what I need to do is find Doug Sewell and see what it is he needs from me. I'm always extremely happy to help the crew over here because I think they do more than I do. What I hear is that he has a lot of work and a lot of sold coaches, and hey, it's Doug.
James, how you doing, bud?
I'm doing great. I just flew in,
yes.
And
Thank you for
I
coming.
can't quite remember what it is you asked me to do and why we're here.
Isn't that what roof inspections? Isn't that what you do best? We only want you here to do roof inspections.
Roof inspections? I'm glad to do roof inspections.
Not because we like you.
Well, who does?
Right. No, I'm so glad you came. Thanks for coming in. Normally you're bringing coaches to us, driving them across the country, but this time I thought it'd be important. We are so backed up right now when it comes to deliveries. My guys are just full bore with getting deliveries done. 37 PA and a 45 OPP. So
the 11 is sold?
19.
19.
And a 17.
And a 17.
Both sold, yeah.
So you're...
Beaver in there is a service customer.
Service on that 2008?
7 or 8 Beaver.
7 or 8 Beaver.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Maybe you can help us get a little bit ahead of the game, do some inspections. I don't know if you brought any tools, maybe.
I brought a little bit of tools. I'm hoping that your guys might have some tools that I can borrow if I need them. But what I want to say first and foremost, thank you for this beautiful weather. I don't know if you did this just for me.
Well, this is the most beautiful time of the year in Kentucky, the fall. In the morning, you're going to find it's going to be about 35 to 45 degrees. Right now, it's about 68 or 70 degrees. I don't know there could be any more beautiful weather.
Well, first off, noticing two Tiffin Allegro coaches right here.
Look at here. You got 2 buses.
2 buses.
And you got 2 more buses.
Oh, so these are Allegro buses?
Allegro buses, yes.
All right, what year is this?
That's 2021.
2021?
40 IP.
40 IP?
Yep, and then a 2019 45 MP. Amazing floor plan.
Well, you know I love the Tiffin coaches, and you always find beautiful coaches,
well, look
so
here,
I'm looking
you know
forward.
What I like Newmar.
You do like Newmar?
Tiffin,
uh-huh.
Prevost.
Liberty Coach.
Right on the other side. Yeah, there's Liberty.
And I think I saw another Newmar up there, and that was a front-end diesel.
Front-end diesel. That's
okay, that's all right. So you need me to do a few inspections, right?
Yeah.
Are there any coaches that we can start on?
Well, why don't you start with these 2 Allegro buses, and I think it'd be pretty cool to do 2 at once. Why don't you start with these 2 Allegro buses? They are amazing coaches, and hopefully you don't find anything wrong with either of them.
Well, I'll do my best not to find anything wrong with them. But you want me to find a few things wrong, right?
You got to find.
That's how I prove I did the inspection.
That's right. Yes, sir.
All right, Doug. So I'll start with the inspection on 2020,
yep,
21,
21,
and 19.
Yep.
Everybody through this. I think it'll be fun to contrast those 2 together. 3 years different. 2 years.
2 years. There were some massive changes from 18 to 19. So if you're in the market for one of these, there's a huge difference, a huge body style change, and a huge structural change for Tiffin Allegro Bus in 2019, James. The floors. So they have what you'll see XSP on the back of these coaches. That's for that extended storage where they have a flat floor. This 45-foot bus, if you've had an older bus or you know anything about Allegro Bus, usually when you get to the bathroom, you have a step up into the bathroom. That's gone. And both of these coaches, complete flat floor all the way throughout the entire coach.
All right.
And the storage is about, 6 or 8 inches taller in all the bays.
That's some good information.
Yep.
I know on some Newmars I try to point out that that step up in the bathroom where they made it.
You'll see no more step up in these coaches.
No step up on these.
No step up.
So we'll keep an eye out for that one.
Cute.
So Doug, thank you for your time. I'm out of uniform, and I don't want to rush through this. So what I'm going to do is get it unpacked, and I'll be back in the morning.
Let's do it.
And
get up early, drink coffee.
Right. I'll get changed out.
I like it.
All right. Got the uniform on now. We can get up on the roof of this thing and the roof of that thing and inspect them to see what we find on them. It'll be fun to compare the 2 of them. First thing we have to do is put the slide out rooms out. Now this one already has them out, but the 19 does not have the slide out rooms out. So let's go ahead and put those out. And we might as well go ahead and take a look at the floor plan because this is one of those ones where you don't have a lot of walking space on it to get past that area, if that's important to you driving down the road with all the slide out rooms in. So that's something to be very aware of. So this 19, which apparently is Doug's favorite. Oh wow, it's got a digital dash on it. Looks like it has 52,000 miles on it. So just broken in, right? Unlike the 2021 next door, the slide out room switches are going to be on the outside of the seats, and then on the outside of that seat right there. Yeah, a little bit more space in here. Let me go ahead and turn on all the lights. Let's see, lights, master on. Hey, that's a lot better in here. So much more room. And then let's see, these are going to be slides, extend. Now I've already inspected on the outside to make sure I have room to run these out without hitting anything. And those are Schwintek slides, so hold the button down the entire time. That'll just leave me one more slide to put out. Okay, so that one's done. That slide is out. A little bit better space in here. Now we can go ahead and go back outside again and get on the roof. All right, now before we go on the roof, I would like to compare the two slide out room boxes, because there's a 21 and there's a 19, and they're both equipped with seamless slides. That means there's no hardware, trim, molding, membrane roof on these slide out boxes. It's all seamless, gel coat, molded fiberglass on both of them. And of course, now that Thor has purchased Tiffin, they did discontinue offering that as an option. So that's the only way you're going to get these currently. And I love those seamless slides. Now we do want to do a perimeter walk from down below and check the underside of the molding there. And then we also want to look underneath all the slide out rooms to inspect all the seals. On this one, you can see they have LED light strips I have turned on. And again, this is part of that gel coat seamless box, so this will never rot on it either. None of these slide outs will. And this has the electric blue highlight on it, while this one has the more traditional maroon color. Otherwise, the front ends look nearly identical. We'll go ahead and inspect that molding up there on the 19. Wiper seals look like they're in pretty good shape. No issues under there. It does look like they have LED light strips on this box too. And on both of these, you will still have the Schwintek slides on the rear slide out rooms. We do have some loose molding right there for that Schwintek slide, so that's why we check. Look underneath. This has roller supports so that it doesn't damage the gel coat. Fiberglass box, because there are rollers right there, because again, we've covered this many times, Schwintek slide outs. The mechanism itself should not support any of the weight of the slide out room. It should just be moving it in and out. All the weight should be carried down below on those rollers. Now the mechanism on this side, these wiper seals are a little bit different than on the 19, but the mechanism on the Schwintek slide is the same. We look really good on there. So while we're right here, I will point out right here, this is a nice upgrade that you'll find on the 21 and not on the 19. This is going to be refrigerator service access. It's a real solid metal door hatch made for purposes like this. Whereas on the 19, well, they still do have a residential refrigerator inside. They're using the old school Norcold refrigerator vent trim. They did add a sheet metal cover on it, and it's just screwed into the plastic. That can be somewhat problematic because those screws do come loose from the plastic or fall off. This whole panel falls off, and it is an expensive paint job to have to replace if you lose that door. I'm not a big fan of the workaround using the Norcold plastic vent trim with a sheet metal door. These hatches right here seem like the obvious solution that should have happened about in 2009 when they started putting residential refrigerators in RVs. Now on the back of these is a 21 and a 19. The rear caps, just like the front cap, look identical. We're just going to have the different paint colors and scheme, but I was kind of given some bad information because I was told there was no ladder on this 19, and there is a rear ladder, and there's a rear ladder on there. That means I can just go here into the basement and grab this ladder extension and probably use it on both of those caps. While we're down here, this does have the electric blue ground light effects on both sides, and I do like those. Another feature I do like on here while we're here, that's a manual slide out tray on the front and the back one. Those electric ones with the switches on the doors, they're very interesting, but they do tend to be slow for me and can bind up and cause problems that you have to fix because they're electric. All right, we'll go ahead and start on the 21 with a ladder extension. Whenever I do a roof inspection, I do like to try to use a provided ladder. That way I can test out the mounts, make sure they're not having problems. Now, this is a 2021 Tiffin Allegro bus, and it does have a gel coat fiberglass roof on it, and it is pretty much seamless in the sense that there are no seams on the side of it underneath this trim right there. It just goes over to the side right here. The only real seams are going to be at the front and rear cap where they meet the roof, so it's not completely seamless. These are about the second best roofs you can have on an RV. It's debatable whether it should be bodyworked in the rear cap or front cap. Bodywork can fail, but of course so can sealant. We'll go ahead and lean over the back right here, over the gel coat fiberglass rear cap. We'll just take a look down, take a look at the marker lights, make sure nothing is broken on those or loose. Want to check to make sure these screws right here aren't loose or missing. That is a fairly common problem I've seen on this spoiler. Now, this spoiler will help direct water off the back and the snow or ice melt if we need to. The sealant on Tiffin is very rubbery because it's a self-leveling silicone. It's a high quality sealant, and it should never crack and need to be touched up. But do make sure it's self-leveling. Don't just use standard silicone sealant on it. Looks like the factory decided that primer gray was all you need on the rear cap right there because that trim was in the way. It's a little surprising to me. But look over the side here. It's not uncommon for a few of these screws to come loose. And maybe there's a little bit of a crack right there, but nothing I'd be worrying about. This is just going to be clear silicone, just like you'd get at the hardware store. We'll look down the sidewall, make sure it's not bubbling or creased, a sign of water damage. But again, these sidewalls on the Tiffin are gel coat fiberglass mesh. It's not a Phylon sheet material. While we're here, I do like to walk and make sure that that seam right there isn't coming loose. Sealant looks good. Again, this is a gel coat fiberglass roof. You need to wash and wax it just like you would on the sidewalls. Of course, just forward of the rear cap, we have a roof vent. So I'll assume this is a rear bathroom at the very least on this. Maybe a bath and a half, I don't know yet. These tabs that are sticking up are intended for a max vent cover, but it just fits over the top, and you just have 4 pins to put it into place. Makes it very easy to inspect, but I think that one might be a little bit problematic because they come forward. I wouldn't doubt that they hit there. But we do want to check the base, make sure it's not cracked. It is plastic. Make our way over to here. This is one of the Girard awnings. There's 2 Girard awnings on this one. One in the front, one in the back. We will have to inspect those 2, but I don't want those out yet until I can take a look at the toppers. We'll grab the slide out topper there. Make sure it's not loose. We'll inspect the fabric. This is the new style Girard slide out toppers. So there's no seams on these. The fabric shouldn't fail at that point. I think the stitching's a little bit better now. Look down the sidewall for any bubbling or waviness. And that sealant looks pretty good. One thing I will notice is that this arm seems a little bit loose. That cap seems loose. And this should be completely butted up against the box here. So it's not closing all the way. It looks like the limit switches will probably have to be adjusted. While we're up here, I do like to just kick this just to make sure that It's not loose from the mounts down below, and this bulb seal right here is really just a like a gutter to redirect water so it doesn't go underneath the awning when it's raining. But if that stuff fell off, you'd be fine. Here we have the rear AC. We will just kind of lean against it to make sure it's not loose to the roof, because this one does secure down from the top. You want to make sure that's not loose. Skylight, very standard Tiffin skylights, probably been around for going on 20 years now. They do like to crack at the bases, and this is the same self-leveling silicone there. These right here are just decorative balance panels to balance out the roof sight line, but the awnings on this side because they're mounted to the roof. Without those there, would look really weird driving down the road. Hopefully you can see on that 19 how it balances out both sides evenly. I do like to check and make sure these aren't loose. They do tend to like to come loose at the base right there. Go ahead and take a look at the down here. Sidewall still looks good. Now again, these are seamless slide outs, so unless there's physical damage to it, there should be zero problems with it, because it's seamless. Take a look at this, make sure that awning topper isn't loose. I'm still looking down the gutter rail, make sure nothing's loose, none of these screws are sticking out. Again, it's pretty common. We do have a solar panel right here. I'm guessing about a 200 watt panel. They're not using self-leveling silicone here. That's hard like an epoxy, so it's not even screwed down, I guess. They just used epoxy to put it down, so we do want to make sure that it's not going to fall off. Huh. Interesting. This right here is more like a Tiffin installed electrical interface cover. So they can use these for a couple of things. Sometimes they use it for pre-wire on solar. Sometimes they use it for satellite or Wi-Fi. If we take a look over at the 19 over there, you can see they have a pre-wire for the satellite going into there. To be difficult, Tiffin does like to throw curveballs at us. I already pointed out that's epoxy right there, and I said they use self-leveling silicone on the roof. This is an acrylic self-leveling die-core right here. And if we go over to the sewer vents over here, this is also a self-leveling die-core over here. So it's unfortunate the factory did that, mix and match roof sealants as much as they did, because silicone won't stick to die-core and die-core won't stick to silicone. I don't know if these are just planned obsolescence, so you're gonna have to change these out. They didn't want to waste silicone, but who knows. Up here over the side right here, there's a nice strong support in between the two slide out rooms right there. Nothing seems to be wrong. Fabric looks good. Go ahead and grab the tube. It's not loose. And we will inspect down right there for any damages. I'll give this awning a little bit of a kick. You can see that one's closed tightly. That one's not closed tightly. And over here, looks like the factory did put a dam in between the seams right there, so water has to go forward or backwards or over the top. I'm not sure that I agree with that. You can see it's making a little bit of sediment inside the gutter, but that was the choice that was made. Come over to here to the middle AC. We'll make sure it's not loose. And then we have another roof vent, same tabs for the vent cover. I don't see anything wrong with the plastic or the sealant. Looks good. This has we have the solar input connections right there. Oh, I didn't even notice there's two more panels up here. That's pretty impressive. So if I'm gonna guess, two for about 600 watts of solar on the roof. What's kind of surprising, this has a Winegard Connect on it. Now this is a 2021, and I thought they discontinued this style by 2021. So the 19 still has it. If it has 5 antennas, that means it's for both cell phone boost and Wi-Fi boost. If it only has 3 tall antennas, it's just a Wi-Fi boost. Now you can get a SIM card to put in there and get more minutes, but they've discontinued this style to a more small dome unit, because these antennas do tend to break. Let's see. A little bit of damage to the wiring right there. I'll make a note of that. We have a third vent right here. Same thing again. We'll inspect the sealant and the base. Grab the lid, make sure it's loose. Make sure it's not loose. This right here is a triple vision TV antenna. It's not omnidirectional. It is directional. You can change the direction of the antenna inside there. Really kind of a bulletproof TV antenna. I do like those. This has a Winegard satellite dish on it. I'm kind of surprised in 2021. Again, we installing satellite domes. This one will work for Dish Network or DirecTV. You just have to take the dome off and reprogram it. But you can see even in 2019, the exact same dome on it. The downside of these domed units is on DirecTV, you don't get high definition channels. You'll still have to have a Winegard Traveler like the 19 over there, but that's a Dish Network. But you're also going to want those Travelers if you're using Dish Network, because these dome units can only see one satellite at a time, and if you have people on 2 or more TVs that want to be on different channels, you're going to have a Traveler. Give this one another little kick, and another one up here. All right, we look really good. Looking down the sidewall there, we do have a entry door awning here. Give a good grasp of it. See where that front cap and all this molding meet together. There's just a stick-on vinyl molding. It's just decorative. Nothing right here is actually sealant. The paint will crack on it a little bit. We'll make a note of that, but this is purely decorative. That's been sealed very well between the front cap and the roof underneath here. All right, we got the front AC. It looks pretty good. It's not loose. And then the two solar panels over here are nice and tight. We'll give a little jerk onto that panel or that trim, make sure it's not loose. And that'll just leave us one more sidewall to take a look at. One more slide topper to take a look at. The fabric looks good and the sealant right there looks good. That just leaves us the front cap area. We have radio antennas. Oh, see that one, that mast is loose, I'll make a note of that. Sirius XM satellite antenna. This is all self-leveling silicone, though it doesn't look like it leveled out very well here. Maybe a couple different people putting sealant on up here, huh? And then probably a CB antenna over here, and then the GPS antenna there. That one's not loose. No, it's not loose, but you can still see the factory decided not to paint the backside of that cap. They did get a lot of splatter on there though from the paint. And although I didn't point it on the rear cap, they did use a junction box to connect the motor to the wiring, which I do like. So that just leaves the front cap here. Again, I'm just going to walk on the seam, making sure that nothing cracks, no screws poke up. The front cap is again that gel coat fiberglass. It is not intended to be walked on, so don't walk on it. Just carefully lean over and inspect down there. We'll take a look at the windshield, make sure I don't see any cracking. The sealant's not falling out. The lights look good. And no other issues that we have to worry about there. But do be careful not to fall off. I do see a little bit of a crack right there. I'll make a note of it, but I think that's going to be fine. Pretty much done with the roof, except I do need to test the awnings and take a look at the fabric. I was smart enough to remember to bring the remote so I don't have to climb down the ladder to test out the awnings. Alright, so I'll just put it on channel 0 to do both of them at the same time. We'll go out with it. See, there's a little bit of debris right there. Now, I'm gonna have to watch this because I don't want to hit the Liberty next door. I'll go ahead and stop it. Right there. So this fabric looks really good. The seams aren't separating. Yeah, this is pretty much a brand new awning. Looks really nice. Same with this one right here. Let me run this back in. See if maybe somebody just stopped the rear one too soon. No, that's where it stopped. It needs to be adjusted and that needs to be tightened up. And then of course right there's that junction box I was talking about that I forgot to show you when we were at the rear cap. So that was a roof inspection on this 2021 Tiffin Allegro bus. We did find a few things on there, mostly things to note. The biggest thing is probably going to be this awning over there. It is a gel coat fiberglass roof. The general sealant on it is a self-leveling silicone with a little bit of Dicor. Well, normally I would just go ahead and hop down, do the inspection, and take you guys through the inside real fast. We got this 2019, we might as well do it here. So I can go ahead and move this ladder extension right next door to the 2019. I do need to put this away though, because this one won't do me any good. It's also a pretty good opportunity to show you guys. This does have a basement refrigerator freezer from Truma. That does come out and slides out, works really nice. But refrigerators are boring. And besides, the 2019 also has a basement refrigerator. It's just a Dometic. But I will grab this while I'm here. The 2019, and chances are pretty good. This one was built in the early part of 2019. Look at the date right here. April 5th, 2019. So if anybody remembers, something global happened in 2019 towards the end of it. And there's a lot of debate online whether the stuff made before that whole global shutdown in 2019 and the stuff made after it in 2020, 21 might be a little bit different of quality. This could be a pretty good case study if that is true or not. Because the construction method won't be much different between the 2019 and 2021. We still have a gel coat fiberglass roof on it. We're still using self-leveling silicone. And because this rear cap and that rear cap are pretty much the exact same mold, even the connection points are going to be the same. So I'm going to walk right here. Let's see. We'll notice there's some tape right here, which leads me to believe there's probably some damage underneath there. So looks like they hit something, probably a tree. But the spoiler looks pretty good. Nothing wrong with the lights there. Looking down the cap, nothing wrong. Same thing over here, we look fine. So looks like maybe somebody put tape back here to balance out the look of tape over there, but it's not there anymore, so that's a bit strange. And while I was complaining about the incomplete painting on the rear cap over there, 2019 they were doing the same thing, so that quality didn't change. Now the sealant around the ladder looks good. The ladder was tight and wasn't loose. We'll look over the side here, we'll inspect that molding, make sure the screws aren't loose like we did before, and we'll look down the sidewall to make sure it's not wavy. This one feels like head on is closing all the way. I will just give it a few kicks like that. Make sure it's not loose. We'll look over here to this fabric. Now this is a couple of years older, so 21, 19, about 2 years older. Fabric still looks just as good. And the slide out topper is not loose. Seamless slide out. It is a shame they put Schwintek on here just because you can see all the holes they had to put into a seamless slide out box. But otherwise it looks really good. Now we'll go to the rear AC right here. We're just gonna lean up against it, make sure it's not loose, make sure all the hardware is still there. Over on this side, that's not loose. Look down the sidewall here, everything looks good. And then the sealant and the molding looks good. That slide out fabric is good. I don't know, maybe that's a little bit rattly. They look good all the way around. Oh, look what I found over here that I missed. Remember I told you those screws like to back out? I found a loose screw right there. At least if somebody was paying attention. We'll come up here to the Winegard Traveler. This is a Dish Network one. I'm pretty confident in that one. So that would be that interface I was telling you guys about on the other roof over there. So that's likely the pre-wire for a Traveler. Again, this is on this one. They went with the self-leveling silicone on that one. So, it looks like they went with the self-leveling silicone on the Traveler too. Just take a look all the way around. Everything's good there. Sometimes these LMBs like to be a little bit loose, so you want to check those. That'll get us to the skylight, and of course I just complained on that one. They've been using the same skylight for 20 years, and here it is, a different rectangular skylight instead of a square one. Same material. It'll have the same issues, cracking at the base, so we want to inspect that and check the sealant. But everything looks fine there. Even has that same D-seal over there. We finally get to a roof vent. Now this is a fantastic roof vent. The other ones over there were max vents. Very similar concept, but these don't have the pegs sticking out of it. Again, self-leveling silicone, looks good. Vent cap is good. The Winegard Connect, 5 antennas, so it does cell phone and Wi-Fi boost, just like on that one. And that's a factory installation. We have a second fantastic vent. So I assume with the skylight there, that's a shower vent, bathroom vent, interface probably for solar, a pre-wire for the solar. We can use the raking light of the sun to see if there's any sort of damage on the fiberglass, if anybody's fixed it before, but I don't see anything. That AC, not loose. And although I don't always cover it in these videos, and I definitely didn't talk about it on that roof over there, I do like to pretty much walk the entire roof, feeling the roof for any weak spots, soft spots, basically trying to walk the entire thing. And the best way to find those soft spots is to walk on them. So that is always something I'm doing whenever I'm walking around, is I'm still using my feet to inspect the roof too, which is why it's very important that you get on the roof and inspect them. Don't just use a drone or use a ladder to pop your head up and inspect. It's important that you actually physically get on the roof and have the roof inspected. We have a third fantastic vent, probably for the galley area. That looks okay. That looks okay. Again, they didn't get color sprayed on the trim up here very well. So 2019, 2020. Triple vision TV antenna. Don't see anything wrong with it. We'll come over to this side. You can see it's a very light dusting of paint up here too. So when it comes to the paint job, it looks like 2019, 2021, very similar in quality. So look over the side here. Slide out topper. Fabric is in good shape. The box is also in good shape. And we'll go ahead and grab that, make sure it's not loose. We'll inspect the molding and the gutter for any screws popping out or sealant being broken, which I'm not seeing anything. And we're going to do the exact same thing over here. Check that sealant all the way down. Look for loose screws. Topper looks good. No waviness. No buckling in the sidewall except for down there, where we already saw that molding on the slide out was loose. And yes, the factory did use Dicor on this one. And on the sewer vents over here. You can tell the difference because if you can tear it with your fingernail, it's definitely not silicone. The silicone feels very rubbery, and it's very difficult to try to peel. So I don't know why the factory does that. Maybe at some point they'll tell me. In front of the TV antenna, we have a Winegard dome satellite dish. Same thing as that one over there. That was a Road Trip. And this is a Road Trip T4. The exact same satellite dish. The front AC, it's kind of surprising that the model number data plate's still up there. I'd be surprised if maybe this one got replaced and they didn't take that off. So this might be a newer one. Couldn't say for sure, but I would have expected the sun to destroy that plastic by now. All right, that'll just leave us the entry door awning. We'll look to make sure that none of those screws are loose. That molding's capped off. The sidewall looks good all the way down. And there's a little bit of puckering in the paint here. Maybe we could touch it up with some clear silicone. Great. That antenna looks good. Again, there's a very light dusting of color on the roof, and this is primer gray here, so they're painting it the same way in 2019 as they were in 2021. Radio antenna, that mast isn't loosed on this one. There's just a little set screw right there that tightens up that mast. Look down the side there, and this even has a very similar driver's window as the 2021. Now, speaking of the front cap, I will just go ahead. Again, I'm not sitting on this. I'm not standing on the cap. I'm just going to peer over the side with all my body weight on the roof safely. Well, I guess as safe as I can be without having a restraint, right? But otherwise, that looks really good. And I will walk this front cap here. So very, very similar to the point where this sealant laid out the exact same way. It was seamed the exact same place and way as the one over there. So really, I would almost guess the same people that built this one probably built that one. That was the inspection on this 2019 Allegro bus. My consensus would be I didn't see much difference between a 2021 and a 2019. So the quality concern might be unfounded and just may be a fun talking point for RV enthusiasts. I know what you're saying, James. You didn't do the patio awnings on this one, but come on, cut me some slack. It's right here. Pretty good right there. I'll go ahead and stop it before you hit that Allegro bus over there. And besides a little bit of a dirt, I don't see any problem with the fabric on this one either. It's a lot of patio space. Finish up the two roof inspections on these 2019 and 2021 Tiffin Allegro bus. I don't want to put these awnings away yet because I want to show you one more thing. Now both the 2021 and the 2019 also have lights on the awnings themselves, which is kind of difficult to see, but I really like those LED lights on those awnings. They help cast a lot of light. Pretty rare opportunity for us to be able to compare a 21 to a 19. I still have to do the inspections on the interior of both of these, and then what I'll do is once I'm done with that, I'll take you through both of them really fast. Completely different floor plans. I know on this one, I'm pretty sure I've taken you guys through that floor plan before, while this one I have seen it before. Very different floor plans, very different interiors, good comparison between the two of them, and I'll tell you which one I like if you care. All right, guys, I just finished up the inspection on the 2019 and the 2021 Tiffin Allegro bus, and I wanted to give you my opinions on what I thought about the differences of them, but I want to let you guys see them first and see what you think. Now, because apparently I wasn't paying attention, even though I was on the roof of this and walking all around, this is a lot longer than that one. I can't speak for every technician out there, but when it comes to model numbers on RVs and floor plans, I have very little patience to remember that. I just know the names of them. So the 2019, like Doug said, is a 45 MP. So 45 means it's 45 foot, hence it has a tag axle. Whereas the 2021 is a 40 IP, and it doesn't have that tag axle because it's only 40 feet long. I didn't notice that until I was writing down tire codes, which I know you guys are going to ask, and I'll show them to you. The 2021 has date codes of 0820, so the 8th week of 2020 those were made. Whereas the 2019 has new tires in the front, so 32 of 22, so the 32nd week of 2022, with the original tires on the rear, so 5018 and I think 4918. So right when it was built, those are the original tires. New tires up front. Now when it comes to the other differences between the 21 and the 19, still had those LED light strips under the slide out boxes and the blue lights under the chassis. Surprisingly, the 19 actually has power basement sliders on the front one and on the rear one. And upgraded batteries to AGMs. Those are nice lifelines. That's a heck of an upgrade for the new owner. The only real radical difference between the two of them up front here, or on the chassis side, is that the 19 doesn't have the mobile eye, lane departure warning, and adaptive cruise control warning, whereas the 21 does have that. But that's enough on the outside. Let's go inside. All right, so you guys have actually seen the inside of this one already with the slide out rooms in and open. The first thing we always want to check on a Tiffin of this age would be the material on the passenger and driver seats, the recliners, and the sofa. I see no problems with these. So I think they had fixed the upholstery issue by this point. Over to the 21, it will have the same window. I like this window because it has a little guy that rides the window. It goes, opens and closes. This feels like automotive grade and not RV grade anymore. But the leveling system, this has air and hydraulic leveling on it, but it has its own touch screen to control everything. I've shown this before, but the 2021 threw me for a curveball, and I'll show you that one. But what I love about this, and what I love about most Tiffins, is going to be the cabinetry. This is real solid cherry wood. I'm a big sucker for real wood. I don't understand why you would make something out of real wood and then cover up the grain and paint it. But that's just me. And then for those of you that are curious, this one is not signed by Bob Tiffin. Now on the ground is going to be a real porcelain tile throughout the entire RV, with the exception of the slide outs where they have a little bit of carpet on it. And this is a little bit oversized tile, kind of made to mimic the look of like a marble or a travertine type of a floor. But it is high gloss, but it seems to have a little bit more traction on it than most high gloss floors do. On the driver's side front slide out, it does have a recliner. This does not turn into a bed, but it does have the power features on it right there. USB charge point, the all-important remote caddy, so you don't lose your remotes behind the couch like I always tend to. Cup holders are vitally important, in my opinion, and much to my dismay, power roller shades. So we will have to come over here, go to shades, and we'll do main shades. They are both day and night. You just can't grab hold of and pull them down when you're right next to them. But there are going to be controls right next to the windows themselves. Rear of the recliners, it does have a beautiful galley, solid surface Corian countertop yet again. I kind of like that, almost looks like an alligator or snake skin. The all-important pop-up and hidden outlets with USB connection. A 2-burner induction stovetop. Has that Tiffin standard stovetop cover that you can pull the pins on and remove the whole thing. Right above is going to be a convection oven microwave and the built-in storage that we've all come to expect from all these Tiffins, even with soft close features on it. And then directly underneath the stovetop will be the Fisher & Paykel drawer dishwasher. It does have additional countertop space by pulling off on that latch underneath there. Now in 2019, they were still putting the square chrome registers on in the ceiling. And I do always like these backlights. Indirect lighting is kind of my favorite thing. You'll even see it on the side over here, hidden underneath that lip above the slide out. Gives a little bit better, more modern, contemporary look. And one of my favorite features is going to be an oversized, under countertop mounted stainless steel sink. And this is a very stout and thick stainless steel material. Across from there will be the passenger side front slide out. This does have the sofa, and this is a hide-a-bed sofa. So you can just pull these cushions out of the way, open it up, and we have about a full-size bed. It does have an air mattress topper on it, so you can just plug that in and inflate it very easily. This becomes a very comfortable bed because you can adjust how firm or how soft it is for your guest. Not that you probably want them to be in there very long, because even though this does have a TV over the dash right there, the main TV is going to be on the televator right behind the sofa. Naturally, for the best TV viewing, on the recliners over here. Perfect. Just rear of that will be the dinette. Again, the dinette does not turn into a bed, but it does extend out for additional seating with some folding chairs on there. And these are some really substantial chairs. And I suspect you'll notice some very similar chairs in the 2021. Just rear of that will be the pantry. There's a slide out pantry with adjustable shelving on it. There's a cool, fun little button right above. So if the ignition is on, it has a magnetic latch to keep this closed. You'd have to push that button to unlock it. Behind that's going to be the Maytag residential refrigerator. It does have water and ice in the door. It is stainless steel. Refrigerator on top with a freezer drawer down below. Just across from there will be the main control panel that you control everything from. And the 21 is going to be very, very similar. I think I have shown this floor plan before. There's a 45 foot, but you do only get one bathroom in it. So the middle of the coach is set up as the bathroom. We go past this pocket door, we'll find the water closet. This is a porcelain gravity toilet, which means it's not a macerating toilet, so a very simple toilet. Has a small vanity sink that is a porcelain sink, a glass tile backsplash, a mirrored medicine cabinet above, but it is a little bit of a narrow opening right here. So I think you can sit down pretty comfortably. There's a lot of side-to-side space here. Now we can walk through the hallway right here to get to the main bathroom, which is a very large bathroom with probably the biggest shower you're going to get in the RV world. It's got something of a dramatic geometry to it, so it's a little bit narrower at the front than it is at the rear. Has a built-in, very sturdy and reliable bench seat on there, so you don't have to worry about breaking that one or folding it out. Again, I'm 6 foot tall. That is probably about a 8-inch step up. So 6 foot, I step up. Look, I didn't hit my head. In fact, I have all sorts of room. I'm on my tippy toes now. So I'd have to intentionally try to hit my head on that. So at least 6'4", you can probably get in there. Which also means when I step out, just step straight out. There's no worrying about hitting my head on the frame up there. Now, if we wanted to, we didn't have to go from the water closet into the hallway here. We could have gone straight for the private entrance into the bathroom. So if you did have guests, this does become a very private room. They can still use the toilet without going into the shower area. Now, on the driver's side rear slide out, this is going to be part of it. You have the dual vanity sinks. Again, it is kind of sculpted into that Corian material. It does have two, mirrored medicine cabinets above it, and this is a glass tile backsplash surrounding it. And they're very nice. And Tiffin has upgraded to all these magnetic latches, which you'd think would be a downgrade, but those have been proven to be a lot more reliable than anything the RV industry has been using for the past 20 years. Again, these are all solid wood pocket doors. We make our way back here. We'll find the other half of that driver's side slide out. It does have the fireplace for the bedroom and the pop-up TV right behind it. Naturally, you can control from the bed. This is a king-size bed. Either side of the bed has a touchscreen display on it, so you can lower the TV or raise the TV from there. Now, thankfully, Tiffin's heard my complaints. These are just roller manual shades here in the bedroom, so no power shades you have to worry about. Then also, they give you a little light switch for when you're coming in at night. You don't have to worry about going to the touch panels or trying to figure out these complicated buttons here at night. They just have a momentary switch that turns them on and off. Good job, Tiffin. One thing I didn't show you guys on the bedroom TV, if you'll notice, this is the emergency exit or egress for the bedroom right here. If the TV was up, it'd be very difficult to get out that emergency exit in a fire, because that's going to take a number of minutes for the TV to get out of the way. This is designed, if you just pull on it, give it a good tug to hinge out of the way. It does have just magnetic latches holding it against the TV lift there. So that was a good design choice too. One thing Doug did note and wanted to make sure I told you guys about that I didn't even notice. Because this is a Power Glide chassis that Tiffin makes, they designed this to not have a step up here in the closet. Completely level and flat all the way into the walk-in closet right there, including this is the engine cover. That they did a very expert job of creating a nice seamless transition there. Hidden over here will be the stack washer and dryer. This is just a Splendid stack washer and dryer. Light switches right there. A linen closet with adjustable shelving. And a shoe caddy right there. And all the way across the back, a nice closet rod. Even a little laundry center or countertop for storage, or maybe even laundry baskets on either side. All right, so that was a 2019 Tiffin Allegro Bus 45 MP. Let's now go over to the 2021 Tiffin Allegro Bus IP to see if we noticed any difference in the build quality or construction of this. I don't think you will find any differences. So this one will wow you. I think so. Same controls right here. turn on the master light switch. And wow is right. And I think the important thing to remember here is I have a 40-foot motorhome. This is a 40-foot motorhome. And I feel like this thing's twice the size of my RV. So definitely off the bat, it's safe to say this is a much more contemporary or modern setup. This is still solid wood, but they did paint it, so I guess it's easy to clean, but you've already know my opinion about painting solid wood. Why hide the beauty of the natural wood? But this is what most people are going to be looking for. Even on the ceiling, very, very similar layout on the ceiling that I pointed out to you before, other than instead of having that polished stainless steel on the vents, they are just wooden on this side and just kind of like notched into the wood on this side. The floor down below is just going to be porcelain tile, but they're very long planks with a normal regular pattern on them. Very minimalistic again, very simple, and these are not high gloss, so it's easy to walk on, but they do have a little bit of a hand hewn or hand scooped texture to it to make it look more like wood. Thankfully by 2021, Tiffin and the industry have figured out not to use bad material on the seats. We don't have to worry about that. But unlike the 19, they did put the slide out room switches here. When we take a look at the dash right here, again, this does have a digital dash to it. The only real difference is going to be over on this side. It does have the mobile eye control on it for the mobile eye up there. But that's not completely true because I told you there was something different about the leveling system, right? We're still going to be using this control knob down there, and we have to go find leveling. So if I select that by pushing down on the button, now I can go through all the leveling options here. And if I go to more, I can manually go through both the hydraulic and the air leveling systems right there. And I did forget to point it out, this 2021 has just under 10,000 miles on it. Now just behind the driver's power roller shade, we have pretty much the exact same window as on the 19. Sadly though, there's not a little stick figure riding the window. So if that's a decline in quality, I'm sorry. One of the nicer features is this does have a much bigger backup camera for the side view cameras and the rear camera. This monitor's much nicer in that sense. But basically the same dash radio and the same controls on the dash here too. As we move further back, we've seen that solid wood cabinetry again. They're still using the magnetic latches up on top, just like we saw on the 19. While I didn't point it out on the 19, this is a vinyl wrap padded valance, so it's actually easier to clean than the fabric wrap one. Now on the driver's side front slide out, you will notice that it still does have carpet as a transition between the normal tile flooring and the slide out floor. This is still a seamless slide out room, and this sofa does turn into a bed. It's just another standard hide to bed, just like we just saw on the 19, with the exact same air mattress topper, but it's brand new and never been used. Now while I have this one out, it's important to know there's a second sofa over here, and this also turns into a bed, and it just jackknifes over to be about a twin size bed. And luckily they thought this through enough so that you can get to both beds in the down position, so they actually are both functional beds. Now just rear of the driver's sofa is going to be the galley. It's a very similar layout as that 2019 we just saw, except the countertop, solid surface Corian countertop, is a little bit more monochromatic, just in grayscales, I guess, maybe. Still the same 2-burner induction stovetop with a Fisher and Paykel drawer dishwasher down below. Still has that pull-out countertop extension. And while I was a big fan of the galley sink in the 2019, I am a little bit disappointed by the dual under countertop mounted stainless steel sink on this one. Luckily, you do have one big one. You could still have this sink cover on, use this sink just fine, and have additional countertop space over there. You do still get that same hidden 110 and USB outlet, and of course the same power roller shades throughout the entire galley and living room area. However, I am a huge fan of whatever this backsplash is made out of it. This looks like it's an asymmetrical stacking stone that has been grouted. It doesn't look like ceramic to me, but it's kind of very interesting to give all sorts of interest just in a backsplash. While above, you still do get the pull-out storage like I just pointed out in the 19. Very similar setup there. I didn't point out this also has the over-the-road TV above the dash right there. But just like the 19, you still do have the main TV located right behind the sofa. So if you're already sitting here on the couch and you forgot to put the TV up, behind that sofa right there, you don't have to stand up and go all the way to that panel so far away. They put a button right here for you. So that's a nice upgrade. So you can just push the button right there. And you have your main TV. It's a pretty good sized TV. I would guess about 55-inch smart TV with a sound bar located right above. Still has that easy to wipe down padded vinyl material or upholstery on it. In a very similar vein as the last dinette. Besides the fabric being a different color, it's the exact same chairs right here. Now the dinette table does extend out just like the other one. And a very similar slide out pantry right here, except it's a little bit narrower. Still has the same button right above. Residential refrigerator right here has been overlaid with wood on top of it, and they even have a polished stainless steel banding on the side. You can see it when I open up the freezer drawer. It's located right there. However, it's just water in the door. There is no ice in the door. It's going to be in the freezer down below. Now, just on the other side of the refrigerator will be the front bathroom for the mid-coach bath. You might notice that this door has seen better days. The good news is there's a brand new door in the basement to be put in this place. It does have the front toilet is the exact same toilet that was on the 19. It is an electric porcelain or ceramic toilet. It's gravity, so no macerating toilet up here. I would say a little bit bigger or easier to use sink than on the 45-foot vanity water closet. That same stone, stacked stone backsplash here, and dual medicine cabinets above. As we exit, right to the left of that door will be the main control panel. Very similar to the 2019, except on this one we do have heated tile floor, and it's two-zone, one for the living room and the other one for the bedroom back here. On the third slide out will be the king size bed, and it's not even like sandwiched in place. There's still a lot of space on either side of the end tables or the nightstands. So making the bed's going to be pretty easy. There's a lot of king size beds out there that are difficult to make the bed on, and somehow on a short 40-footer, this king size bed has ample space on both sides of it. And again, thankfully, just like on the 19, the bedroom shades are just manual shades. But just like the 2019, you still do have digital controls on either side of the bed. And we can do the TV lift over here. Except this one, I don't have to push the button down the entire time. It'll open up itself. But just like the 2019, you pull over in there, the TV will swing out of the way so you can get out the emergency exit window. And you also have a sound bar located here. Kind of a nice little linen closet on both sides of the TV. And this is the fourth slide out where we're going to find the bedroom fireplace space heater, which is one of my favorite features because it's such an easy heat source that you don't have to worry about. And it looks pretty too. Now, unsurprisingly, we're not done with this coach. I feel like we've already done 40 feet. There's still a full-sized rear bathroom here. So this is a true bath and a half. 40-foot motorhome with a king-size bed, a twin-size bed, and a full-size bed. So 3 beds, bath and a half. Wow. I don't think wow fully explains how nice this looks. This is dual under countertop mounted glass sinks. You can see that stacked stone backsplash and the hidden indirect LED lights there. Dual medicine cabinets above on here. Same magnetic latches that we saw before. Hello. And while this is a very large shower stall, I think it's a little bit smaller than the other one. It does have the flip down teak seat. That's very common on most RVs. This one does have the aquamizer feature within it, so you don't waste fresh water when you're boondocking trying to get hot water to the shower. But we still do have the hidden skylight cover that I love. A nice solid shower door too. Easy to clean on that one. Just rear of the shower will be a porcelain or ceramic macerating toilet. So you do have the switches for it right there. And yet, we're still not done. which is a pretty common feature you'll find on a Tiffin, the sliding washer and dryer door. So the same stacked washer and dryer from Splendide, with even a little bit of a storage shelf right above. Of course, directly to the right of that will be the sliding closet doors with automatic lights that are built into the closet rod itself and the ceiling. You can see the motion detector right above. Really well thought out display on this. So that was the 2021 Tiffin Allegro Bus 40 IP. The big question, did I notice a difference in quality between the 2019 and the 2021? I didn't. I didn't notice any difference, except Bob Tiffin did sign this one there. And then somehow this 40-foot motorhome feels a lot bigger than a 45-foot 2019 Tiffin Allegro Bus. This does feel much cleaner, but a little bit more sterile for my taste when you compare it to the traditional look of stained real hardwood. Now, of course, with 45 foot, there might be something to be said about not having extra sleeping space and bathroom space for guests, and you get to keep all this space for yourself, and a little bit bigger and more manageable bathroom. One more thing, I thought it was only fair to run the rooms in on the 2021 Allegro Bus. All right, so there it is, an actual aisleway to walk down and get access to everything. It's a little tight still, but you can actually have people sitting here on that sofa and on this sofa driving down the road, and they wouldn't be cramped with their legs hitting each other, especially if they were staggered. You can get very good access to the dinette. Now, this is the only place that I can see where it's a little bit tight. I have to turn sideways to walk past here. And you can get to the stovetop, most importantly the microwave, the kitchen sink, and let's see, the refrigerator here. Yeah, it's not too bad access to here. And the freezer access is pretty good. See the big thing right here, even though I like a hinge door over a pocket door like the 19 had, yeah, this door is gonna hit the refrigerator. Yeah, you probably have to turn sideways to get into the bathroom here, so it's a little bit narrow. But once you're in here, the slide outs don't affect any of the access inside this bathroom area. Moving our way through and to the back, and like most of these modern RVs with 4 slides on them, the bed is the end of the road here. Now, unlike a lot of them, the bed doesn't have to articulate up and store in order for the slide out rooms to come in and out, so that means you can lay on the bed even with the slide out rooms in, and there's even foot space right there, so you wouldn't be pushing up against the cabinetry. To get to the rear bathroom or anything back there, you will have to, of course, hop over the bed. But I would say, compared to the 19, this is much better access driving down the road with the slide out rooms in. But that was my inspection and the walkthrough of these two coaches, comparing the two of them. And I'm sure the last question everybody has, which is Doug Sewell with Sewell Motor Coach asking for these. Let me see if I can't track him down to answer that question. Well, there he is, driving it around. I can't even stop him. You always working?
Only from daylight to dark. I can take the nighttime I take off.
What everybody wants to know is, on this 2019 and 2021, what would it take for somebody to buy these?
Whatever. The 1945 MP, they're going to see how nice it is on video. They already have, if we're to this point of the video. $319, $995, best deal in the country.
Okay.
That bus is amazing. The colors on this 21 are just spectacular, James. I mean, this is what everybody wants. It doesn't mean I priced it over. It's still the best deal in the country. And that's one thing I want to mention too. I say it in my videos, but I want to tell people, make sure they understand. When you buy one from us, not only are you going to get the best price, we're a one-price dealer. No negotiation. You don't have to worry about negotiating with us. We're going to give you our best price right up front. We do 3 inspections on every coach. We do a pre-purchase inspection before we buy it. A lot of times you're doing those inspections. We also do another inspection when we receive the coach here, and then we do our 3rd inspection, which is our PDI inspection, once you give us money.
All right.
Once we get money, then we do our PDI. But the fourth inspection should be done by you when you're here picking up the coach. And that's why we want you to stay with us for a night or two, so you really get a feel for the coach. And if you find any issues that we happen to miss, because you know we are human,
Okay.
and we miss things, and that allows us to fix any of those issues that you may find.
Right.
Adjusting doors, whatever that may be, we can take care of all that stuff.
And $319 for the 2019,
Yeah.
but I think what, 50,000?
51,000 miles.
I think it's 52.
Okay, we did drive it up here from Florida. I forgot about that.
Okay. I'm just now noticing that Doug actually never told us how much that 2021 is, or how much he's asking for that 2021 Allegro bus. So I have to come bother him in his office. Hey, Doug.
Sir.
We did a lot of talking to you, and you forgot to tell me how much you're asking for that 2021.
Oh, 21 is $329. Best deal in the country.
$329?
$329. Absolutely.
All right, and that's
Check
not
the
even
price.
10,000 miles on it.
No, 9,000 miles. Both of them are nice coaches, but I'll tell you that 21 is a deal. They were, that's the best deal in the country, James.
All right.
Yep.
I appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
I think I got you talking too much before. And so to get a hold of you,
Call my cell phone, 859-613-2574, but just jump on the website. It's
Website?
SewellMotorCoach.com.
all right.
Yep.
I'll put all that information in the description. So
Got some more roofs for you to jump on.
yeah, I got a lot, you've got a lot of inspections for me to do. Thanks a lot, Doug. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right. All right, guys. Well, there you have it. A pretty good apples to apples comparison between a 2019 Tiffin and a 2021 Tiffin. Now, I would be interested to hear what you guys have been finding between 2019 and 2021 as far as quality goes between other manufacturers, including Tiffin. But thanks for joining me again on another exciting cross-country adventure from Phoenix, Arizona to Harrodsburg, Kentucky, as we took a look at these Tiffin Allegro buses. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to contact Doug Sewell with Sewell Motor Coach, and I'm sure he'll have better answers than I'll give you in the comments. Thanks a lot for watching, guys. Bye. So where does that leave me? I told you guys I would tell you which one I liked or I preferred. Initially, I thought I was going to like the 19 because I love the look of real wood grain and not painted, but there's a 40-footer, bath and a half, 3 beds, and a pretty useful aisleway right here. And even though it's a little bit more monochromatic and sleek modern looking, I didn't think I'd like this one as much, but I like the 21 more than the 19. And it's 5 feet shorter. It's crazy to me. But the heart wants what the heart wants, right? Well, you can't travel with too many tools because they could be weapons. So I have a multimeter, a polarity tester, and a few other test equipments on here. And you rolled the clocks back an hour for me.
Hey, we did. Yes, you did. How'd that work with the flight?
I'm not even sure. I still have a
You
lot.
don't even know what time it is?
I'm unaware what time it is. And that's but those travelers are also really nice for residential use. Those travelers are also what you're going to want if you want to watch. But those travelers are also what you're going to want on. But those travelers are what. But now. Well, that's a pretty nice Canyon Star. What year?
That's a 2021.
2021.
Yes.
Front end diesel.
Front Fred. It's a Fred with the toy hauler. 3927 floor plan with the toy hauler.
I know. I don't think I've seen one of these before.
Don't you want to do a bit? It makes you want to do like an inspection.
And no, one at a time. One at a time.